Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. And Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Elaine Parker. Fathu, O1. Helen Cole. Let me see. Who else is here? Sharon Middleton. Okay. And Lydia Washington is here. And let's see, Carlene Beckford, and a host of other friends. I got so much to cover. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. And I'll say hi later on. Let me just scroll all the way to the last. Janice Goodrich, thank you for being here. Myra V, Mary H. All right. Ulibi, Marcy Foreman, H. Knight, Cass Sterling, Julia Rock, Deborah Robinson. All right. Okay, even more slides than yesterday, but we definitely are not taking that much time. Yesterday, I think we were on for like 3 hours, and then we went a little further. So won't let that happen today. Hello, Cynthia Jacobs. So anyway, Spain wins, and William loses. William, biggest loser. Loser, tone deaf. I have been saying this for the longest time. I kind of feel vindicated because I have been going on and on about how unprepared William is for king. I have. Just think, he is even less prepared than his grandma was when she inherited the throne over 70 years ago, almost half his age. Imagine that. Well, she had mentors like Churchill and Uncle Dickie, Louis Mountbatten, and all those people. But still, even with all that, even with all, as I lectured yesterday about the information age we live in, even in this information age, William is terribly unprepared for the job. But let's not start with that, of course. Congratulations to Spain. By the way, I do not work for the House of Sussex. I do not represent them in any way. I represent people who care about them, who love them, who think that they are who feel that they are the most influential couple in the world. We know they are. And there's a world of good that they are doing, and there could be so much more if those rogue elements of the British tabloid media, the various houses of Windsor, and just general MAGA Brexit people would just leave them alone. The world would be so much better off, not just for them, but for a lot of people. So there are just elements of society that wake up to make trouble day after day, who have chosen the dark side. Well, it's our job to bring them to the light. Cupcake and Tiffy Gotcha World. Really? I like cupcakes. So there you have it. Now, I am in no way a FIFA authority, so I don't know all the language that's involved, but I know winners when I see them. And let me see, is the Queen of Spain mixed in there somewhere? She looks so youthful sometimes. It's easy to lose her in a crowd of younger people. But no, I don't think so. I think that's team only. But eventually, Her Royal Majesty, or did they say Majesty? Her Royal Majesty did work her way into the crowd of players. And there she is, proudly holding the trophy. And she should be proud because she did something that other people did not, like, for instance, the Prime Minister, or let's say even more importantly, the Football Association president, William, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, the next King of England, the next sovereign. And as I said, woefully unprepared. 1 second. Okay, we're woefully unprepared. He gives me woe, anxiety. So there you have it. Second nation to win both men's and women's FIFA World Cup. This is a big moment. We are seeing history. Spain in last three FIFA Women's World Cup won the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, won the 2022 U20 FIFA World Cup, and of course, won the 2022 U17 FIFA Women's World Cup. Now, again, I don't know what that means, but it looks like they won a lot. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loves Prince William. Well, that's not true. That's even cruel for me. It's not that people hate Prince William. It's not that people don't love him, but I have to say it. There are quite a few people scratching their heads right now, wondering why do we even have a monarchy? Why do we even have a royal family? Why is the laziest person this side of creation, why is he worthy to sit upon the throne of the United Kingdom? Why should he inherit the court of St. James? What makes him worthy? Well, that is a very, very valid question. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. The only thing I can say is it's an accident of birth. But for the fact that he was born first, the truly talented, lovable, inspiring. I mean, let's face it, Harry is an inspiration. I guess it took everything that Harry has gone through to make him the man that he is today. However, even at a very young age, when his mom was still alive, he displayed the signs of true leadership. He was a leader then. He's a leader now. I like when when one of the royal protection officers said Harry had took his walkie-talkie and had run outside of Kensington Palace and was somewhere in the neighborhood patrolling. That's what it was. He wasn't just running away to be mischievous. He was actually out patrolling the perimeter of the property like a good soldier would. And of course, he checked in with base, didn't he? I love that story. The only thing I don't like is the person who told it has gone rogue. He wrote a book about the real Princess of Wales, the only one I've ever recognized, and so he's not my cup of tea anymore. Hello, Beverly McCaskill, Lola Love. So yeah, there you have it. The girls have actually won for Spain, and there's nothing but wait until we see like the parade. They'll probably have them on a double-decker bus. I don't know where their hometown is. Is it Madrid, Barcelona? Where is it? Whatever the case is, they're going to be on a double-decker bus, and people, like right now, there are people still up and out and celebrating this victory. And that's the whole point of it, is to uplift and inspire the nation. And well, unfortunately, as there's always got to be a winner, then that means someone is going to be defeated. And of course, there's the Lionesses. They're doing the best that they can to save face under the circumstances. But yeah, well, you know what? The fact that they made it all the way to the finals lets you know that they were some of the best of the best. But eventually, it's all decided on things like, has someone from the royal family been available to cheer us on? Did anybody bother at the highest level of the aristocracy to join us while we courageously battled to win the World Cup. Those are the things. Am I rubbing it in? Am I rubbing it in? It's more than just having a member of the royal family available to cheer you on. Although it does beg the question, why are we paying 86 million pounds for them year after year? Why are they about to get a 45% raise if they're not there when we need them? Huh? What is the point of it? I ask you that. Beats me. Anyway, I'm not going to rub it in. William is going through enough. And, I just don't want him to have some kind of breakdown or something like that because, I haven't seen this much hostility toward him ever, even when he skipped that Commonwealth Day in 2017. Let's continue here. So, why is William on a poll of world leaders? Desperate stuff. So, this is the last time something really nice was said about William. Prince William voted most likely person to unite the United States as he tops poll of world leaders. And then over there, you can see the Republic, which is a group of people that would love to see the monarchy go away. They said, extraordinary, unsurprising that the Telegraph would put so much weight on a bad poll. Americans really aren't interested. Whether they are or not isn't that important. The poll puts him up against a list of unpopular people hardly worth taking seriously. Like, for instance, Vladimir Putin. The poll doesn't even mention Prince Harry. The poll is a collection of misfits and despots who otherwise would probably help to destroy Western civilization as we know it. And so, as an alternative to all of those people that are listed in the poll, then they throw William's name in there, and it makes him look as though the 56% of people that looked upon him favorably speaks for the rest of America. Number one, a lot of people don't even know who William is. Everybody knows Harry. And of course, Prince William of Wales this week has emerged as the top of the poll, blah, 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 public figures. Prince William, it appears, has quietly conquered America. So this vanity project from, was it YouGov and the Telegraph or whoever put it together, notice that finding originally came out earlier this month, like about almost 2 weeks ago. But just today, they threw it out there again to try to rescue William from all of the bad publicity he's getting. That's why I'm sharing that with you. That was what, 10 days ago, 12 days ago? And then take a look here on the right. They decide on August the 19th, while all of this bad press is washing over him, ooh, we have to rescue him. He's going to be the next king. We never know when we might need him. So they are throwing him a lifeline. That is the whole point. They come back almost 2 weeks later and throw him a lifeline because let me tell you something. William is circling the drain as we speak. I don't know that it's ever been this bad. I don't know that it's ever been this bad. This should have been the reaction that happened when Harry confessed to the world that his brother viciously attacked him. This should be the press he got at that time, but instead they wait until he refuses to go and support an English team, and that's when everybody is freaking out. That's when the gloves have come off. Leg says the poll was rating them unfavorable. Don't know. Oh, really? Okay. Are you sure? Well, let me see. How did they? Oh, well, anyway, thank you, Legs. You know what? You may be right. I forget exactly how the question was put to the people that were polled. All as I know is they put him up against some really shady characters. And then Leg says here, Leg says, how did they get how did they get rescue from US from that? Well, when I'm saying that they threw him a lifeline, I'm talking about the Telegraph. The Telegraph is trying to pull back a lot of this bad publicity by reminding people how popular he is in the US. I mean, why would you put this in the paper today? Well, yesterday, the 19th, when initially it already trended in the news almost 2 weeks ago. So then they come back almost 2 weeks later at a time when William is circling the drain. Then they decide, oh, we better run that story again, or maybe put some American flags and stars and stripes behind it to make it seem even more so relevant than it was a while ago. So yeah, that's what it is. It's not us rescuing him. It's not the poll. It is the Telegraph that is trying to help him. But thank you again for the super chat. Wow, you guys have a lot of comments. They are coming very fast. Let's see here. Okay, so let's take a little short trip down memory lane. Cynthia, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Rick, thank you so much for the super sticker. Let's see. Okay, let me explain. So, William tried this with the trip to Boston. Do you recall? The trip to Boston was supposed to make him worthier in the eyes of America. Do you guys recall that? But every time they tried to do that, in order to get people to pay attention, you know what's necessary? A little olive oil, or as I like to say, a little couple of tablespoons of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. You know, when you're cooking gourmet food, I don't know how many recipes I've seen that calls for a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. It's the same with a story about Will and Kate. If you wanted to have enough appeal for everybody's palate, you have to put a couple of tablespoons of Harry and Meghan in there. Otherwise, nobody's going to read it. So even here, when it's supposed to be William's moment, look at what happened. Who pours it best? William and Kate greet Boston by tweeting rain-soaked photo following their, showing their backs 2 years after Harry and Meghan's famous umbrella picture went viral. How desperate can you be? How desperate can you be? They were trying to capture the spirit of Harry and Meghan. With Harry and Meghan, it looks like diamonds are falling from the sky. With Will and Kate, first of all, dum-dum, you're not supposed to have your back to the... all the people in front of them with cameras, why would you post this picture? Maybe they don't want people to see the disgusted looks on their faces or something. I don't know. But anyway, you know, I had to put a little Emily Andrews in there because it is one of those things that I think is kind of funny. Gracie and Fawabi says, why is William uniting U.S., not his own country? Make it make sense. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I wish I could explain it. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. But Gracie, it's a question that someone needs to answer because there's over, 1.5 billion people in the Commonwealth? Why don't you try to win them over? Why don't you try to win over Australia so next time you'll be more inclined to go? Or how about Canada? How about New Zealand? There's quite a few places where you could try to win people over. Do you guys know it's been almost a year since the Queen has died and the royal family has yet to go around and solidify their grip on power? And I'm not even saying William. Charles is the one that's really supposed to go. But Charles is a bit up in age, and I would imagine that if this was the Queen just taking the throne, she would probably send someone younger as her proxy. However, it's been almost a year and nothing has happened. So I would say at the anniversary of her death, they really should be out there. As a matter of fact, it would have been smart to have gone sooner rather than later, but they are waiting just a little bit too late because, well, you know what? It just goes to show you. They obviously feel as though they're not popular enough to pull it off. But this lets you know that they're in a lot of trouble. They are in a lot of trouble. They pretend to be in a position of strength, but the truth is they are in trouble. So I'm going to go through these very quickly, as I'm sure most of you all have seen this, and then we'll get back to today's William. So Carolyn Kennedy and John Kerry both failed to show up to William and Kate's Earthshot event in Boston amid embarrassing race row in United Kingdom as their first American trip in 8 years gets off to inauspicious start. Carolyn Kennedy and John Kerry both failed to show up for Prince William and Kate Middleton's Earthshot event in Boston on Wednesday evening. Kerry, presidential envoy for climate, informed Prince and Princess earlier today that he would sadly no longer be able to attend. Why does this tickle me so much? Kennedy, daughter of President John F. Kennedy and U.S. Ambassador to Australia. Oops. U.S. Ambassador to Australia said she experienced disrupted travel plans due to weather. That weather, however, appeared to have led to very few cancellations at the airport in Boston and in New York, according to FlightAware. The no-shows come as William and Kate's first trip to the United States in 8 years has been overshadowed by racism and scandal rocking the royals. So take a look at another one right here. Carolyn Kennedy and John Kerry diss Will and Kate in Boston. Let me get to my favorite part. Because it gets better. It gets better. Oh, poor William. I'm getting too much mileage out of this, I know. And then the next day, when she finally sees William, look at her. She's wearing her jogging suit. She was out for a run and thought, oh, yeah, I got to go. She was out running errands, and she finally popped in to say, hey. And then you take a look there. Same night, of course, they went to the Celtics game. Prince William and Kate Middleton are met with boos at Boston's Celtic game. This is why William stayed home, aside from the fact that he's lazy. But what type of sovereign is he going to be if he can't stand the heat? You are the next head of state. Well, heads of states occasionally are booed. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle that? What are you going to do when the heat is on? You know, Harry Truman say, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. And that is one of those things that comes with being a head of state. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So how is he going to do his job if he's afraid of these types of situations? I don't get it. Poor. Anyway, I'm not going to start that again, but just a little bit won't hurt. Cynthia, let's see what you have here. Let me see. Hello, Baron. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Keep up the great conversation. Love it. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being here again, as per usual. Really, really appreciate it. Let me see here. Okay. And Elaine Parker, I did say thank you. Okay, I didn't want to miss that, but thank you so much for being here, Elaine Parker. I was thinking about you when I came on earlier. I'm just like, I don't want Elaine Parker to lose her sleep. Okay, so, and then check this out. So, one of my favorite news groups in the world, the New York Times, Bostonians take on royal whirlwind visit, whatever. As breathless online commentary tracked the royal couple's every move during their visit, swathes of the host city remained unimpressed. As a matter of fact, check out the lady there on the left side. She thinks that they're a charming couple, but Anne Walsh said, I won't go out of my way to see them. And then here on the right side, you can see it says, it was just a regular game to me, he said. Some Bostonians said they cannot tolerate the royals because of allegations of racism among some members and associates, including the new report this week of racist comments by Prince William's godmother. Oh, I love it. I can't talk about them because I get mad, said a woman hurrying to catch a train in Dorchester. That is in Massachusetts, of course, on Thursday, referencing reports that the royal family had mistreated Meghan Markle. William and Kate's sister-in-law, who is biracial. At a ceremony welcoming the couple on Wednesday, one city official, the Reverend that person right there, White Hammond, made a point of calling out a legacy of colonialism and racism linked to the monarchy. You see the lady there with the poncho? I think that's who they're speaking of. The African-American woman right there, she said exactly how she felt. And of course, that had to have been very uncomfortable for Will and Kate. I'm just reflecting as to why they are in trouble. And like y'all said, need to concentrate on someplace else because you're in the wrong part of the world to bring that nonsense. They were competing with the Sussexes, and they keep doing that. So there's Will over there with the very woolly mane. Look at that guy's hair. That is John F. Kennedy's grandson. Look at all that hair. The Kennedys have some of the best hair ever. Thick manes of hair. And obviously, William is feeling a bit insecure. And I should tell you, I love the photo op for the sake of the Cambridges because they needed it. However, the young man in the tie, Schlossberg, I think is his name, his last name, he is as liberal as they come. And he actually spoke out against his uncle, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., with his idea of running for president and even made mention of the fact that he's a little wacky. And of course, back to the right side, this is what keeps Will and Kate up at night. William more so than anybody else. He has wandered aimlessly through his life trying to find purpose. But most of the time, he was just doing nothing. So right here, just a reminder, and this is what's been trending all day on Twitter. You guys that are not on social media like that, if you're just like YouTube and Facebook, maybe on Facebook you've seen it, they have been dragging William up and down the Twitter streets. All over social media, they have been dragging him. Just a reminder, this is a quote from a squatty, just a reminder that Workshire Willie, the future king, was the only royal not to attend Commonwealth Day in 2017 because he was on a skiing holiday in the Swiss Alps. He was joined by friends and a group of women, none of whom were his wife. Prince William's absence for key Princess Margaret and Queen Mother memorial. Now, those of you that are new to the royals, remember this. The Queen Margaret died, just months before the Queen Mother? So they had a joint memorial for them. And William was a no-show. You know how they always love to say, Harry should have been here, Harry should have been here, even though they drove him out of the country, even though he's not even invited. They don't extend an invitation to him. Well, William, when he's the future king, didn't even show up. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge missed Queen Mother's memorial service to continue skiing. William and Kate will miss Friday's service of Thanksgiving for Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and Princess Margaret as they enjoy a skiing holiday. This is the way they used to drag them before Meghan Markle married into the family. That's what makes today very strange indeed, because the mainstream media are unable to contain themselves. Prince William parties on the slopes with Aussie model on boys' Swiss ski holiday as rest of family attends Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey, and Kate stays home with the kids. Oh, Kate wasn't on that trip? Wills was dancing in a, well, anyway, that was the trip that he took when he didn't go to the Commonwealth in 2017. And then right here, Beauty and the Pissed. Is that right? Beauty and the Pissed? Prince William Prince William skips Commonwealth Day service and slopes off to chill with Aussie babe Sophie Taylor on lad ski holiday in Verbia. The future king was the only royal to shun service in favor of boozing in the Swiss Alps, while Kate Middleton is left at home with George and Charlotte. Good Lord. Really? What Will's Kate says, Prince William's dirty dance to two beauties gyrate as models dance that around and put hand on woman's waist. Embarrassing footage doing. I have not seen the video yet. I'm going to have to try to find that video. Meanwhile, William was criticized for skiing off on holiday while royal family, including wife Kate and their two children, were left to attend Commonwealth Day services. That's the real William. That's the real William. They shamed and embarrassed him at the time, and he kind of, didn't go as far away, but he didn't necessarily do any more work. Look at there. Commonwealth Day 2017. Didn't go off without a hitch. Now, I got a soundbite for you. LBC. Oh, Lord, did I save this one? I hope I did. Okay, LBC. Let me find that soundbite for you. Because this guy was saying what everybody else was thinking.
It seems to me that while there was, of course, a lot of hype around the match today, if this had been the men's England team in a World Cup final, it would have been a completely different scale. And it seems to me that if that had been the men's team, in the England men's team in the World Cup final, that Rishi Sunak and Prince William probably would have cleared their diaries and flown up to watch the match. What does it say that when it was about the fact that when it was the women, neither of them could be bothered to go? I think it's pretty scandalous, frankly, particularly in the case of the Duke of Cornwall. You're the president of the FA. What are you doing that's more important, that's better than going to support your country's women's football team in a World Cup final? Am I being too harsh? I just think it sends a real message of disrespect and a lack of support, frankly, for the England's women team from our future king. He should have been there, and so probably should Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, although I think in his case it's less clear-cut.
So, as you can see, you guys, the knives are out. The knives are out. And of course, it's a very valid point. What are you doing? What's more important than you being there? What's more important? Uh, by the way, I put these subscription back to 2 weeks because I figure there might be a lot of trolls that want to get in here and try to disrupt things. So instead of doing the usual 1 week, I put it back for 2 weeks. But yeah, what was more important, Wilma? What was more important, pulled pork sandwiches or what? I am loving it. I feel vindicated. I feel understood. I feel like someone has made valid everything that we've been saying for a long time. And there's more. Now, this, of course, is a parody. Taking a minute off my vacation to congratulate the Lionesses in making the nation proud. I cannot wait to take a picture with you when you get back in order to salvage my reputation. Workshire Willie, president of the FA. I love it. And as you can see, there's his shield over there on the left side, and there's his passion on the right side. And then further back are the other senior royals that are supposed to help save the monarchy. But yeah, when you combine all those things together, that pretty much spells it out. And of course, while giving this press conference, of course, he would have headed to GBN News if this was a real thing. And thank you to the Prince William, Wills Windsor, at Wills Windsor. That is a parody account for Prince William. And then, of course, there's that reminder. No protocol issues prevent visit. When members of the royal family travel to Commonwealth realms on official tours, it is on the invitation of the host nation's government, and protocol dictates that the country they are visiting organize the travel. However, a potential trip to Australia by the prince would be on behalf of the FA. But it is understood that it would not be an issue for the prince to visit Australia before King Charles' visit as monarch. And because the match is against Spain, there is no issue with protocol regarding heads of state, period. So, as Anne was saying earlier on the Duchess of Success, that there's a bunch of bots out there, meaning, of course, there is a flurry of postings on the interweb from these accounts that are not likely real accounts. But those bots is a way to use, and I guess an AI or automated way to throw those comments in there to try to take some of the pressure off or to gaslight people into believing that William's actions were okay. Prince William was called work-shy, then things got really nasty. A tempest about Prince William's work ethic is now a scandal focusing on the future king's laziness. Hashtag Prince William cost England this win. They lost their focus caused by William's distractions from his lack of support as their FA president to the chaos of the last days. He must apologize and resign. Seeing Queen Letizia of Spain dancing with the Spanish girls is how it's done. Woof. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, I am just amazed at this heat. Yep, I am amazed. Now, over here, you can see cheerleader Letizia. Spanish Queen shows her support in the Rojas team color as she dons red suit for World Cup final clash, while the Lionesses have no royal cheering them in the stands. That is the Daily Mail. That is the Mail Online. That is Lord Nappyhead's paper. That's Lord Nappyhead's paper. If you guys don't know who Lord Nappyhead is, that is the ambiguously Caucasian. We don't know what he is. He suffers from Tom Jones syndrome. But yes, that is the owner of the Daily Mail. And he is cozy with the royals. And yet his paper ran that article. So the feeding frenzy is on. I guess I'm trying to say there is a feeding frenzy, and everybody wants their pound of flesh. They are demanding their pound of flesh where William is concerned. Prince William scoring own goal by missing World Cup final despite AIDS sugarcoating. Prince William has come under pressure after it was revealed he will not be traveling to Sydney to support England's Lionesses. They take on Spain in the Women's World Cup final despite being president of Football Association. Well, obviously that was from the 18th of August, so that was a bit ago, but people have been tweeting and retweeting and sharing and posting. Now take a look over there on the left. Meghan and Harry pushed out to stop clash with lazy Kate and William. Vine guest slams. Well, Nina Miskow was on Jeremy Vine. I don't think that was the other day. I think that was from some time ago. But she made the assertion that Meghan and Harry were forced out because of the very lazy work ethic of Will and Kate, their lackadaisical attitude toward work. They have been considered work shy for a long time. They used to call them work shy Will and Duchess Doolittle. Now, some people hate to say Duchess Doolittle now because Kate has been elevated in her rank. And of course, they figure, well, if they say that, people are going to imply that that means Meghan. But you know what? So what? People who know that when it comes to work shy, when it comes to laziness, everybody knows the reference. And to pretend otherwise, that's just some gaslighting or dirty tricks from the derangers. Liberia Rose, hello, so proud of you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you as always for being a member of Royal Sussex. So there on the right side, you can see Letizia's trip to the Women's World Cup final is causing a headache for Prince William. So I'm going to go to yesterday's soundbite, just in case for some reason you all did not watch yesterday. I won't do all of the ones I did yesterday, but I just want you to hear Nina's words again, where she said, then what are they there for? Let me see.
I've got a big job. 24 hours, incurring costs of the Australian government.
Okay, I don't think that one's it. Let me. Oh, as a matter of fact.
That Dickie Arbiter.
Okay, let's see.
I'm interested to say that Dickie Arbiter thinks that it's irrelevant whether he's there or not. If it's irrelevant whether he's there or not, what is the point of the royal family?
Well, I suppose
the thing is they have many defined engagements.
Now, that was what they call a pregnant pause. The two ladies, there they are. When she said, what is the point? They locked eyes on one another, and then they began to try to clean up. And of course, she was the one who started things.
They, go to every single year. It's not like they have nothing to do. And also the idea that, the Spanish are going, the Spanish queen is going, why not the, future British king? In terms of Spanish politics, there's a completely different dynamic with how they relate to their royal family. So how we relate to our royal family, the recent elections, separatists.
Yeah. Go tell it on the mountain. William should have been there. Okay, that's it, and that's all. William should have been there, and he wasn't. And of course, right now he is getting dragged up and down the street. I mean, literally, the toes of his shoes. The toes of his shoes are face down on the pavement, and and he's being dragged. Okay, his knees are scraping, the toe of his shoes are scraping, everything. He is being dragged on these Twitter streets. And then this self-entitled freeloader is the president of the Football Association. Disgraceful. So William goes and gives this video, and then from what I hear, I'm trying to remember, this is not the first time he did this. I kind of remember him doing this before, where he thought a video would suffice for actually going to the event. Good luck tomorrow, Lionesses. And then he pulls Charlotte in very tight. Now, I'm no body language expert, but if I was, I would say that he is literally using her as a security blanket, like a life preserver, like some type of safety device, clinging to make sure that he doesn't go under the waves. But it's too late for that. It is too late. You had an opportunity to go, and you did not. And you're being called out for it. And look at what's trending in Australia. Look at what's trending. Workshy Willie, Prince of Pegging, abolish the monarchy, Kate, not my king, good King Harry, Princess Meghan, royal family, Sussex squad. Trending in Australia. Trending in Australia. And I guess it's true. Someone said yesterday that Will and Kate were not popular down there. I had no idea. I thought that the round-the-clock hateful news that we see from Australia, which of course does not represent the people, but I thought that somehow that there was at least some type of love and affection for Will and Kate. Apparently there's not. And I guess it's obvious because they never go. Miss Viv, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, Black Queen, I know I heard you earlier. I heard you earlier. It's weird for a variety of reasons, but I just think that there's clamoring for some type of lifeline going on here. And that's what I think is going on, is that they're looking for several escape hatches because it looks like the ship is going down for William, and he's going to cling to whatever he can to try to correct things. So using Princess Charlotte, oh, by the way, this is from Dr. Shola. This is from Dr. Shola. And knowing Dr. Shola, she's probably somewhere polishing her chair as we speak, because you know Dr. Shola. Well, anyway, let's take a look, shall we? Well, anyway, that's our Dr. Shola. We love Dr. Shola. Using Princess Charlotte as PR shield to deflect from backlash of deplorable decision is not to support the Lionesses. Let me see, in person as FA president and stereotypically sexist and patriarchal, brings out cute little daughter instead. Prince William seriously lacks good sense. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shola. And you know, Dr. Shola calls it like she sees it. And then, of course, this one is from yesterday. Briefing. Okay, well, let me start at the top. Prince William's not endearing himself, is he? Briefing against Prince Harry, disastrous Caribbean tour, moving his friend into the royal household, fake burger van publicity. Let me see. Pay only child playground on his grounds. That's the playground on the property where people have to pay for their children to play on the playground. Very weird. Not attending a women's World Cup final, arrogance or incompetence. Well, take your choice. Take your choice. And then right here. Now, yesterday I showed you guys two derangers, two accounts that if you know, you know. I'm not going to say the name of the accounts, and I ask you to do the same. Please do not use the name of those accounts. But this is an account which, to me, appears as though it's a woman of African descent. So the first image, the first avatar that she used, it didn't look real. I'm not saying that it's not. It just did not look real to me. This one looks more alive. I'll just say it looks more animated. It looks more like a real person. This person who has been carrying the water, it's curious to me. Now, this person may have more than one Twitter account, but if this is their only a Twitter account, what woman of African descent, even if they are conservative, even if they are into Brexit, a Tory, or whatever, what woman of African descent spends all day, every day defending those two? Can you answer me that question? What woman of African descent would think of nothing better to do every day than to defend the royal family? I know there are people that do that, but I still think it's strange. So she says Queen Letizia is going to the games. Why can't Kate go? King Philippe went to the Wimbledon. Why can't Prince William go? Sports events are open for all heads of state. KF and was that supposed to be King Charles? And okay. King Philippe and Queen Letizia attend Spain head of state. Last time I checked, the King and Queen of the United Kingdom, Australia, are King Charles and Queen Camilla. They are currently on vacation. So why is no one asking for them? They're not the president of the Football Association. And then she says, is the heir more important than the king? He's the president of the Football Association. Is the Princess of Wales higher ranking than Queen? Such strange times we live in. This is gaslighting. This is not a bot. This is somebody. This is not a bot. But one more time, Charles or no Charles, Charles is not the head of the Football Association. So this person is trying to defend these two. And again, what appears to be a woman of African descent does nothing on this account but defend the royal family, which is why I thought about this little meme right here. As a strong Black woman, I think we Blacks talk too much about racism. I have my suspicions, but I don't know for sure. But I have my suspicions about that one. Now, from yesterday, no, actually, this is from today. Breaking, Prince William says, sorry. Oh, no, this is from before that, that he's not going. And then, of course, here on the right is a reminder that he has been booed publicly before. Continue. But this is supposed to be a new royal era. This is supposed to be a new royal era, right? After the Queen's death, the Prince and Princess of Wales adjust to life in Windsor and changing roles. Have they changed that much? Because they seem like the same two lazy so-and-sos that were the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall, well, as Prince and Princess of Wales, their titles may have changed, but they are still two of the laziest people this side of creation. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Kate is on a 2-month vacation. William is on a 2-month vacation, and not even the World Cup final was going to derail their plans. Art imitates life, just like in the cartoon. If you guys remember the cartoon, Prince George, just as in the cartoon, they depicted them as lazy. They even had someone who placed William in the bed, lifted him up, and placed him in the bed. Art imitates life. That is William. William is that person right there, that character. That's who he is. And the reason why we're having this conversation is because for years they have done everything that they could to destroy two of the hardest working individuals I've ever known, that I've ever seen. Two people who have dedicated their life to service, as service is universal. That is what they want to do. They have a foundation. They have their work. They have their family. But even before they met, that was their lifetime commitment. In a parallel universe, they were doing pretty much the same thing. Well, in this photo, of course not. Meghan was serving in the USO for that Christmas, and William had his, Harry had his 10 years. Let me take a sip of water. Harry had his 10 years in the service. And then, of course, one of their first big outings in the U.S., they go to New York, and it focused on service. That's it. It focused on service. And yet, they have been pushed away from that institution where they are so needed right now. They need them desperately. All the stuff that these two choose not to do, what the work that they shy away from, the two most capable people in the family have been pushed away. And now they are floundering. And the only hand they have to play is to get the press to attack his brother and his sister-in-law so nobody notices how awful they are. Awful. These are two dreadful people. And what makes it even worse is that they're not quietly awful, but they are actively and have been actively, in my opinion, plotting against Harry and Meghan so that they look better. It's really bad when the only way a person can make themselves look good is to tear you down. That says a lot about that person, or in this case, those people. Been very outspoken about Prince William no-show at tomorrow Women's World Cup final. As you can imagine, I received a fair amount of abuse, but what I've been more disgusted by is replies from blokes being beyond disrespectful about the Lionesses and women's game. Pathetic. Now, this is someone who, was just saying how he felt, like so many other people are right now. And what happens? They attack him. Please take notice. These two are from yesterday, if they look familiar. Notice the way the world treats women. England's Lionesses play first ever World Cup final. Our future king, FA president, let me stress that, FA president, Football Association president, and our prime minister send a sick note. Disgraceful, sends a clear message about the value of women, not only in sports, but in society. Good luck, Lionesses. So proud of what you've achieved. There you have it. Their value and worth, as far as that patriarchal society is concerned, is second tier. You're just not as important as if it was the men's team. Has an inflated ego, thinks he is better than others, needs excessive validation from the British tabloids. He is entitled to special treatment, has a pattern of exploiting people, and he's performative. He lacks empathy. He is envious of Prince Harry, arrogant with a sense of superiority over others, extremely sensitive to criticism, poor self-awareness, low emotional intelligence, and poor impulse control. Now, I have no idea who wrote that. That is one of the things that was trending, not my words. That was one of those things that were trending. And I could not agree more. That is super, super accurate. Super accurate. That encapsulates William right there. And I wouldn't give a rat's behind what kind of person he is. But what bothers me is the attacks on Harry and Meghan. What bothers me is that this African-American woman falls in love with a prince, marries into the family. She switches off her social media. And anybody on their 7th year of a series is thinking about leaving, okay? Anything that runs 7 years, people are at that point thinking about the future. So she left. She was probably ready to go. And things just fell into place for him, fell into place for her. And so she goes over there. Meghan goes to the UK and honestly commits herself to the job at hand. Well, I know people may find suspicion, but I will try to win them over with hard work. I allege that she's thinking, I'll just get in there, keep my head down, work hard, wear neutral colors, etc. And it wasn't enough because William and Kate, as we know, William and Kate and the Kensington Palace crew had it in for her. And it did not matter that Harry is his brother. All that mattered was winning. They had to win by any means necessary. So how it started, when it started, I don't know. But I do know what the outcome was. It wasn't enough that you ran them away from Kensington Palace. You had to drive them out of the country. You had to try to leave them out there defenseless, without any security, tried to leave them penniless, did everything you could to destroy them. And yet they have just had one of the best months ever. And look at where you are right now. Look at where both of you are. That is something. It's like a repeat of the Commonwealth, of the Caribbean tour. It is really a repeat, only this time, Kate is nowhere to be found. This is all on the future king. With all that superior blue blood and breeding, it's all on him. He's got nobody else to blame. It was his decision to not go. People have noticed it, and they're saying the quiet parts out loud. I love it. And then, of course, Spain's women's football team had their queen supporting them at the final, but Prince William was nowhere to be seen, and that was in the Metro. That was in the Metro. Is that a Murdoch paper? I'm not sure, but that was in the Metro. Spain's Queen Letizia travels to Women's Cup final, but no Prince William. And what's trending? President of the FA, Prince of Pegging, Work-shy Willie. Work-shy Willie. I think they have a pill for Work-shy Willie. Don't they have pills for Work-shy Willies? I'm just asking for a friend. Queen Letizia of Spain congratulates Selma Paraluelo FIFA's Best Young Player Award, FIFA Women's World Cup 2023, Spain champions, FIFA Women's World Cup, etc., etc. No Prince William. No Prince William. Over there, right in the thick of it, and no Prince William. They sent, like, I forgot who they sent, but it was somebody that no one has ever heard of to represent the United Kingdom. A missed opportunity. And just think how many people. And wait, let me also remind you guys of something else. There was a time when women's competitive sport did not get this much attention. That's the other thing that people need to consider, is that women in sports have been fighting very hard to get the same type of recognition, to get the same type of publicity, the endorsements, everything that comes with being a champion or even playing the game. And so if you're the president of the Football Association, aren't you supposed to help promote, do your due diligence to support women in sports? It's only been recent that women's football or soccer, if you will, football or soccer, whichever you choose, that they have been getting the proper respect. They're still not getting the money. Same with women's basketball. There was a time when people didn't pay that much attention. It was just a curiosity. Now it is increasingly going mainstream, and the president of the Football Association is nowhere to be found. He should be making more of an effort for the women, more of an effort. There should have been a contingency plan to travel should they go to the finals. And so what does he do? He has Charlotte sit next to him. He holds her tight to his side like a safety line, like some type of flotation device to keep himself from slipping under the waves when he should have been there. It's more than just Britain. It's more than just him being a royal. But women have been fighting for full recognition in professional sport. And he, of all people, should recognize that. But instead, he makes a little video only after the announcement, only after all. And then, of course, I'm gonna say this too. What was very smart is that he didn't allow a camera to observe him watching the game, if he watched it. Because if they would have had the cameras there watching him looking stupid when England lost, then it would have just been that much worse. If there were cameras there, and I bet you they did record something, but because they didn't win, they didn't share it. I could assure you that there was some record of it, only if they won. Helene Groen, hello. If they play a final, it's once every 4 years you make time. You know what, Helene? Thank you so much. You get a bell for that. Once every 4 years. Thank you for that. Thank you. Once every 4 years. Very valid point. It's not like it's something that's going to come up every year. Once every 4 years, and you're not there. Oh, that just makes it that much more volatile as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there's a lot of people like myself didn't know the 4-year thing. So is, okay, so 2022 were the men, and then 2023 was the women? Is that how it goes? Is it like every 2 years, men or women, they alternate, or I don't know how that goes. KDV, he is born lazy. That's the king they're going to inherit after his sloppy papa pass. Thank you so much, KDV, for your comment, and thank you for 7 months membership to Royal Sussex. And happy Sunday or Monday to you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's the next in line. Maybe he needs this moment. You know, I'm just gonna remove my frustration with the way Meghan and Harry has been treated from the conversation. I am going to also remove my glee at the fact that the Sussex squad has been proven correct to point out these shortcomings of Williams. We have been correct to do that because it just happens to be true. Now more people can see what we've been talking about all this time. And I'll say this, I'm going to just forget all about all of that and say that maybe William needs this moment of clarity so that he can find his voice, because he has wasted, as far as I'm concerned, he has wasted all these years doing little or nothing in preparation for the next big move. And then, of course, and that, of course, would be the Prince of Wales. He waited all that time to become the Prince of Wales and haven't learned a single word of Welsh. He is not popular in Wales. And then the next big step for him is the throne itself. And he doesn't seem to be any more prepared for taking the throne than he was for the Duchy of Cornwall and the title Prince of Wales. He wasn't prepared for that, and he's not prepared for the next step. KDV, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex, and thank you so much for being here today. Greatly appreciate it. Happy Sunday or Monday to you, KDB. Can't remember which time zone you're in, but either way, thank you so much for being here. And YM Droid, another member of Royal Sussex, says, Will didn't realize that they offer pulled pork sandwiches in Australia. You bet they do. I've seen some of those parades on TV. They know Dan Woo Woo would probably give him some tips. I'm sure that there were quite a few people in Kensington Palace, and of course, one of them happens to be friends with Woo Woo, that know the lay of the land, for lack of a better word. They know the lay of the land. So there are plenty of people inside and outside the institution that can give him everything that he ever needed to know about pulled pork sandwiches. Bon appetit. Oh, thank you so much for that, Alan. By the way, thank you so much for 6 months membership. All right, so right here, Queen Letizia of Spain dazzles at World Cup winning game as England's Prince William snubs. This is the New York Post. Now, I know that is a, what is his name? Rupert Murdoch. That is a News Corp Rupert Murdoch paper. Snubs match. Okay? They posted this just hours ago. Queen Letizia of Spain dazzles at World Cup winning game as England's Prince William snubs match. This is a moment right here. Now, I get that none of these tabloids want to miss out, but let this be a warning to everyone in the royal family. I don't care who you're in the bed with. I don't care what devils that you have made deals with. When there is blood in the water, the sharks are going to start circling. You see, Rome didn't fall because of people outside of Rome. They fell because of the people inside of Rome. When the Bourbons lost the French throne, it was because of the people inside. It was because of the peasants. Working class people don't ask for enough. I'm not going to say they don't ask for much. I'm going to say they don't ask for much. But for 86 million pounds a year, for inheriting $1 billion duchy, for never having to pay for car insurance, electricity, heat, or anything else your entire privileged life, you were supposed to be in Australia. You had one job. You had one job. And those same people that have let you get away with so much for so long, the people who said, oh, wow, that's Diana's son. He looks just like her. Well, he used to. All of those people that gave you a free pass, that encouraged you, pat you on the back, pretend like you had a full head of hair, even made you feel smart when we know you're not. Those same people, those are the ones that are going to yank you right out of that castle. Those are the ones that are going to drag you out of the palace. They are the ones that will have your back to the waves as they drive you out the country. Now, I'm not saying any of those things will happen, but that is how it happens, is when, look at how the whole Partygate. As an American, I really don't get the Partygate. It didn't seem like it was the worst thing in the world, although it was the height of hypocrisy. While people are living under restrictions, they can't go to funerals, weddings, they can't travel, all the restrictions during the pandemic. And yet it was party time at number 10 Downing Street. I'm surprised it was as big a story as it was, but it was enough to help drive Boris Johnson out of office. So it really shouldn't come as a surprise, because they take the British people for granted. They really do. And it won't be the big things that cost the monarchy everything. It'll be little small things like this. I promise you. It won't be the big things. It'll be the small things. Belittling and terrorizing a mixed race woman from another country. No, that won't do it. Asking for a 45% raise, and you're going to get it. That's not going to do it. Have $1 billion funeral for the Queen. Have $1 billion, coronation for the King. That's not enough to do it. People can't heat their homes. Store shelves were empty months ago. That's not going to do it. Leaving the European Union, that's not going to do it. But little crap like this, that is what's going to do it. That is what's going to do it. It won't be one thing. It's going to be several things. And that is how it ends. So I'm pretty sure that there's feet scurrying all around Kensington Palace and Clarence House right now, trying to figure out how to fix this. Yeah, I'm going to just say it. People are very fickle everywhere. And the British people let the royals get away with a lot because it's inevitable they're going to be there. But it's not necessarily permanent. And this is how they're going to lose it. Now, this is interesting. World Cup hero Olga Carmona learns her father's passing moments after Spain triumphs over Lionesses. Can you believe that? World Cup hero Olga Carmona found out that her father had passed away shortly after her crucial goal. The The Spanish star scored the only goal of the game as Spain secured a 1-0 win over England to win the Women's World Cup on Sunday, an achievement that led to jubilant scene. And that's what sports is about. It's about challenging yourself. It's about training, endurance. It's about winning. It's about being able to do the undoable, to prove yourself more talented than the next person. That's what it's all about. And it might be difficult for some people to understand, how could you possibly play? I don't know if her father was ill or if this was something sudden. Now, some people said that she knew before the game. I saw that somewhere. And then, of course, during the game, and then I've seen after the game. But either way, it doesn't surprise me that she was able to go out there and not only play, but to win, because that's what sports is for. It is a way to challenge ourselves as human beings, challenge ourselves to use our wit, our skill, our physical endurance to do things that the next person may find difficult. That's what it's about. And it's also about inspiring others. So all I could say is prayers to her and her family. I think is incredible. I know her family is very proud of her, and whatever the circumstances, I'm sure they would rather she was there than any place else. But I don't know the backstory. But knowing the tabloid media, they're likely to try to make some type of mockery out of it. And I pray that they don't. I pray that they just leave this girl and her family in peace. But keep your hostility where it belongs. And that's on the royal family. That's on Prince William. That's where the hostility belongs, not on the Spanish or on the Spanish team, not Queen Letizia, but you all know how the tabloid media is. So I'm just saying, don't be surprised if they don't try to figure out some kind of way to say something silly or very irresponsible about Olga. That's how they are. You always have to hold your breath and wait. The UK has the most expensive royal family in Europe. Uh-oh, what did I just do here? Oh, okay. I accidentally hit the chat with I accidentally hit the button to chat with StreamYard. I don't want to talk to them. Okay, so the UK has the most expensive royal family in Europe. Annual public funding for the monarchy in 2021. Well, as you can see here, it exceeds 80 million pounds. I promise you that number is larger, but I'm not going to get into that today. Followed by the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Belgium, Denmark, and Spain. Spain is the least expensive of all the royal families of Europe, the least expensive. And yet Queen Letizia was there. Now, this had nothing to do with the game. It just happened to have come out the other day, and it remains true today. This is Versailles. I'm sure you guys know that. That is the Palace of Versailles. It is the most visited royal residence in the world. The most visited. In the most visited country in the world. More people go to France, followed by Spain, than any place else in the world. And yet we are to believe that the only way that the British economy is going to survive is if the royal family is there, because the royal family brings tourism. Okay, one more time. Can you guys hear me? Is this on? The most visited royal residence in the world is the Palace of Versailles. The most visited country in the world is France. And even though London and Paris run neck and neck when it comes to people visiting a single city, usually is either or. Mostly Paris usually gets more. Paris is not a bigger city. Paris is not a wealthier city, but more people tend to go there than they go to London. However, London is a very wealthy country and there are a lot of landmarks and stuff like that. But as a whole, people travel to the country of France far more than they travel to the UK or even, to UK. And this is Buckingham Palace. It's probably one of the more recognizable places in the world. And yet, very few people ever visit. It's not open year round, I believe. It's only open when the Queen was in Balmoral. I don't know what kind of schedule they have right now, but a lot of people go and stand out front, but they are not allowed to go in. And the last time they had a tour of the grounds there, they said, well, anyway, if you look at the some of those travel ratings, it was dragged. They said it was pretty bad. You didn't really get a chance to see much. You just went through and then you walked the grounds of the palace and you're out. And it was expensive. Princess Kate proves she could have been a lioness in football action shots. So if it wasn't ridiculous enough that that they started talking about that poll of the U.S. thinks that William can save the world, just like he ended homelessness, just like he found peace in the Middle East, just like he didn't he? What was the other one? He solved the carbon emissions, all those other things that he solved. He fed the hungry, he walked on water, he was able to heal people, all of those things that he was supposed to do. Well, they ran that story again yesterday to try to save William. This distraction here is just so we don't forget about Kate while she's on vacation. The Princess of Wales is talented on the pitch, they say. Kate proved she could have been a lioness in football shots. Well, certainly she seems to be physically, well, as you can see there, even though she seems to be all thumbs, I suppose she does have some type of, I don't know what she has. She has those amazing buffed arms. She has a leg that looked like it could kick a tree over. I mean, I could see an English oak falling to one kick from Kate. And yet, whose ever idea it was to run that story, they need to have a conversation with that person. That was bad timing. It's not going to help William. It's not going to help the royal family. Nobody cares. Nobody. Look at the size of those feet, though. Did you guys get a load of those feet? Look at those feet. I'm telling you, that is enough to knock over an English oak. And the arms, I mean, she's buffed. She's athletic. She's very athletic. That's what they say. Now, one thing that is confusing for me is that William is probably, I bet you Kate could probably take him in any type of sport, including polo. If Kate rides horses, she could probably beat him in polo. I'm sure she could. William is not the most athletic person that you'll ever meet. Look at how he's shying away from the football. Is that rugby or football? Oh, that looks like rugby. Yeah, look at how he's shying away. And what surprises me, that the Prince of Pegging would find it so difficult to tolerate a BALL flying at him. I don't even want to say it. Okay, what the heck? I'll just say it. I would have never suspected he would be shying away from a ball flying toward his head. I just did not see that coming. But you would think that he would have more courage when people are throwing balls around, but apparently that's just not in his wheelhouse. So that was a surprise to me. I just found these photos today thanks to someone who posted them, and poor Willie looks like he's out of his element. Again, all of those rugged men around and balls are flying everywhere. I thought he'd be more comfortable in that setting, but obviously I got it wrong. So you never really know a person, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's forget about all of that for a little while. I think we spent an hour and a half dragging Willie, the royal family. I'm satisfied. Invictus, Heart of Invictus is coming on the 30th of August. You got to be there. The 30th of August, which is in 10 days, you will have a chance to see the Heart of Invictus. And I decided to go into the Wayback Machine and find some photos from the trip to Germany last September. Yeah, it was September. If you take a look there, you can see the Sussexes standing in front of that train that was wrapped just for the occasion. That train shows the commitment of Dusseldorf for the Invictus Games. They are excited, far more excited than Boston was for that Earth flop. The Invictus game will take place on September the 9th through the 16th. And of course, there is a, a YouTube channel dedicated to Invictus, their official channel. As you can see, Lydia posted a link for the apparel. They got some really cool stuff on there. So if you want to get your Invictus game wear, that is the place to do it. They've got backpacks, water bottles, bucket hats, baseball caps, all kinds of stuff with the Invictus logo on it. So go and check it out. But yes, that is the train that was wrapped just for the occasion. And if you take here, you can see that they actually let Harry sit in the driver's seat. He looks like a little kid. He's in the driver's seat. And over there, they presented Harry with a gift. How sweet. A gift for Prince Harry. Well, if you're wondering what they presented to him, take a look on the right side. It is a scale model of one of their historic trains. There's a scale model that they gifted to Prince Harry to celebrate the countdown to Invictus. So that was for 1 year for the Invictus Games. And so now, instead of being, a year away, we are merely weeks away from the Invictus Games. So congratulations to Prince Harry for yet another Invictus game. We are looking forward to it. Also, congratulations to Archwell Productions and Prince Harry for the, the Heart of Invictus. Going to be exciting. Actually, I should say, too, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and, of course, Archwell Production, which is their production company. How cool. And then here's just another shot of the Sussexes at the presentation of the train. How amazing is that? Super, super nice. Now, let's get back to those Middleton, shall we? Because I have a little bit to say about the Middletons, if you don't mind. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to change the pin at the top of the chat. Thank you, Church Nelly has put a link for the Invictus Game channel. So make sure you go over there and subscribe so you will know where to find the Invictus Game channel. Or as Medea would say, the Invictus Game channel. the Invictus game chantel. All right, so William and Kate's marriage not as perfect as it seems. As Insider exposed private rows, exclusive Kensington Palace Insider has claimed that the Prince and Princess of Wales are not as hunky-dory behind closed doors. You guys, please check out the date on this article. Check out the date. Do you all see that? Check out the date. When it rains, it pours. For some reason, the Daily Express has decided to bring up their marriage. Kensington Palace Insider has claimed that the Prince and Princess of Wales are not as hunky-dory behind closed doors. Now, I'm not going to share the whole article. It's not even a long article. But the part that stuck out for me was where it says the royal author continues, but William adopts a manner and the way of behaving of his grandmother, and Kate is very good at not complaining and adopting. Well, number one, that's a lie. William ain't nothing like his grandmother. The Queen has not been known for her temper. The Queen has not been known to lose control and do something spontaneous like drive her sibling out of the country. The Queen was always very measured and deliberate. That much you can say, is that she was always very measured and deliberate. William, that is not the reputation that he has. So if you're wondering, why do they have these images for that article? Well, they didn't. I threw that in there because I want to remind you why Kate is getting on with things. I want to remind you why Kate adapts to her situation. Because her family is broke. Her mama and daddy are broke. They ain't got 2 nickels to rub together between them. They're in debt up to their eyeballs. They're broke. And if I was Kate, and my parents somehow suddenly are broke, I would shut up too and just do what I'm supposed to do. Make do. You have to make do when your mama and daddy is broke, when they're poor, when they have been living above their means, when they have been extending themselves just to get you and your sister married to just the right people, to put you in the right schools, to name you with those aristocratic names. When all of that has happened, you better shut up and play along. She ain't got no choice. They're hoping that the Middleton family might not inherit, but they might get a lease to one of those estates. Maybe they'll put them up in the Frogmore, or perhaps maybe there'll be room for them in the well, who knows? Kate might be stuck at Adelaide Cottage the rest of her life, but maybe there'll be room for them at the Adelaide Cottage. They'll find some place for them, but they're broke. And it'd be different if your parents had money. It'd be different if they were as rich as David Rock Savage and Rose, what's her name? But they're not. They're poor. They are poor. They were conspicuously wealthy, and now they're obviously broke, poor. So nothing better to do but keep quiet and do as you're told. Keep it to yourself. Now, of course, you guys know we always reach out to Kensington Palace for comment, because that's how we are. We're very nice like that, and we like to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so upon reaching out to Kensington Palace, this is what they told us.
Obviously, it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and going forward and things. It is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know. Pippa is drowning in cash. I mean, she has money in every place you could imagine, but they ain't gonna share it with them. They're not gonna get any of it. And rumor has it that William has been actually carrying them for quite some time. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what's being alleged, is that William has been helping out his in-laws. We don't know. But yeah, Pippa ain't going to be able to help. And as for her brother, the king of marshmallows, I'm not sure what he could do. Anybody who thought it was a good idea to monogram marshmallows and they thought that was going to turn them into the next Sir Richard Branson can't be that business savvy. So he won't be able to help. The only people that can help are the Windsors. So right here, I found an old article from 2013 from the Liberty Voice. Kate Middleton, is mom the new JR? They were asking the question back in 2013, is her mama the new JR? As you can see, they have a picture of their Buckleberry estate, and there's the South Fork estate from the television show Dallas. So again, is she the new J.R. Ewing? I don't know, but she might be the new Kim Kardashian. No, not Kim. What is the mama's name? What's the mama of the Kardashians? She might be the new Mama Kardashian, but she's definitely not. Well, no, she couldn't be the Mama Kardashian because the Kardashian mama, she got money. She has production rights and all kind of stuff. But Mama Middleton, all she has left is that beverage cart that she used to push back and forth at British Airways. All she has is a worn out, threadbare air hostess uniform and an old beverage cart that she's going to use at Kate's coronation. Chris Kardashian, thank you, Miranda. Yeah, all she has. Oh, Compton Cali Gal. Yeah, I see a few, y'all. Thank you so much. Chris Kardashian. She's certainly not the Chris Kardashian. But all she has is that old beverage cart and her uniform. She might have to go back to the airline. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe she can go back to British Airways. That's where she met her husband, Michael. It says here, a new book has just been published by royal editor for the Mail on Sunday, Katie Nichols. In the book entitled Kate, the Future Queen, Nichols writes about how Kate Middleton's mother, Carol, orchestrated the royal engagement, that Kate had engineered her meeting with her current husband since her school days, and how former flight attendant Carol Middleton, in addition to her new South Fork style Buckleberry Manor home in Berkshire, is now happily ensconced in the granny flat at Kensington Palace. Is this all starting to sound a bit like a soap opera? Surely a young teenage girl could not have been the sole operator here, which pleads the question about Kate Middleton. Is mom the new JR? Well, I don't know about her being a new JR, but from the look at one of them pictures, it sure looked like she worked in one of them houses before, don't it? Don't that look like she used to work in one of them houses? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But yeah, I always look at that picture and I'm like, ooh, she looked like she worked in one of them houses, if you ask me, but nobody asked, so I won't say. Oh, man. When the only sound on the empty street is the heavy tread of the heavy feet, that belongs to a lonesome cop. I open shop. When the moon so long has been gazing down on the wayward, it runs in the family, I think, on the wayward ways of this wayward town, that a smile becomes a smoke. I go to work. Woo! I think they've all worked at the same place. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, you guys, this must have been that moment. Some photographer must have caught them at that opportune moment when either she said, "How much is he worth?" or "What school is he going to?" or let me see, what's another one? Who is he dating? Get back in there. Don't let this one slip the hook. Yeah, that looks like a couple of people plotting and scheming and working a root if I've ever seen. And of course, if all else fails, like I said, Carol Middleton can get that old beverage cart out, the same one that she used at British Airways. This is going to be Carol Middleton on Kate's coronation day. Carol Middleton is going to get that old beverage cart back out. She's going to put on that old British Airways uniform, and she's going to get right back into the trenches, selling those little bottles of cocktails and packs of peanuts and stuff. You know what they say, once you ride a bicycle, you never forget how. Or if you fall off a horse, it's best to get right back on. If you used to work at British Airways, get your beverage cart back out. So yeah, that is probably what's going to happen, because we don't know how long Kate is going to stay. And since there's nobody to bail them out, and since Uncle Gary's, well, his work is not what it used to be, they are going to, they're going to need to go back to the British Airways, I'm afraid. So they'll be okay. Don't worry about the Middletons, especially Carol. Carol is Madonna. Carol is Cher. It may not be hope for the rest of humanity, but if there's an apocalypse, trust me, Carol Middleton, Kris Jenner, and a few other people, they will be there. They will survive. She's a survivor. So don't cry any tears for her. She'll be all right. B. Martin says, "Hi, Baron, listening in the cloud. Great podcast. Love it." Thank you so much, B. Martin. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much for that. When the only sound on the empty street. Who's prepared to pay the price for a trip to paradise? Love for sale. Well, like mother, like daughter, if for some reason Kate Middleton doesn't work out with the Windsors, I'm pretty sure that if she had never met William, that she likely would have used her art degree to get herself a position at British Airways. I mean, she looks like a flight attendant. Her face is too big, her legs are too long, and her face is always up in yours. So yeah, all that grinning and grinning might come in handy. She looked like a flight attendant, all up in your business, taking those little bottles of beverages home. She'd make it. She could always go back to, well, not go back, but I'm sure she's no stranger to the airline industry. That is probably what Kate would be doing. If it wasn't for William, just think about it. Where do you think she would be working right now? Would she work? I think that she probably would have become an air hostess just like her mama. Well, you guys, on a more serious note, grandson of Jimmy and Rosalind Carter say we're in the final chapter in health. Let me see. What does it say behind that? Let me see. I can't see that. So, yeah, in health update. So that was trending earlier today. Jimmy Carter, as you know, James Earl Carter, former president of the United States, has been in hospice. 98 years old. He's been in hospice. Just day before yesterday, I think it was Rosalind Kennedy, Rosalind Carter, her birthday, 96 years old. So who knows? Anytime, today, tomorrow, but looks like Jimmy Carter might be making his transition over to the other side. And so please keep them in your prayers, both of them, because she has been suffering as well. And between the two of them, they're like two. I'm just going to say, I've always thought of Jimmy Carter as the most honest president of my lifetime. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm just saying that's how I felt. I've said it before. I will say it again. Out of all the presidents, I've always felt that he was the most honest. Here's a very sweet image of Jimmy and Rosalind, with the Habitats for the Humanity. The Habitats for the Humanity. And of course, this is when they were courting. This was their courtship days. Very handsome couple. And you guys, there's so much that we owe to Jimmy Carter. If you like to fly, if you can afford to fly, if you've traveled the world, I just want you guys to give him credit for something. The U.S. air travel average miles per trip versus real cost per mile in 1979 to 2012. Jimmy Carter deregulated the airline industry. He created competition. At first, there was just a handful of carriers. Airlines have never been safer. And yet, even though there's been deregulation, it is so much cheaper to go from point A to point B in 2023 than it was back in the late 1970s. And that we owe to Jimmy Carter, among other things. And of course, 1979, President Carter had solar panels installed at the White House. These were later laughed at, derided, and removed by officials of Ronald Reagan's administration. Had cellular energy, renewable energy. You know, everybody loves to give Charles credit for being ahead of the times. Jimmy Carter was excited after the energy crisis of the 70s that there was a way to use the sun to generate power for a very power-hungry country like the United States. So Jimmy Carter had those experimental solar panels put on the White House. Well, the Republicans, Ronald Reagan, laughed and had it removed. If they would have left those panels, if they would have maintained solar energy at the White House, just imagine where the world would be today with new renewable energy. Where would the climate change be today? Would it be as bad as it is right now if only they would have taken serious something that could have helped everyone? We'll never know. And of course, when it comes to civil rights, Jimmy Carter was never second to anyone. This is Andrew Young. He was the United States ambassador to the United Nations. The Democrats have had a long tradition of integrating or desegregating certain areas of government. And this was a big leap. The United States ambassador to the United Nations. And there is Andrew Young. There they were so young, and now they are old men. well, actually, Andrew Young, he passed away not long ago, right? But yeah, there he is visiting with Jimmy Carter. And Colin Powell, big time Republican. Even though Colin Powell was a Republican, Colin Powell actually understood the value of affirmative action, because it was Jimmy Carter who was frustrated by the lack of qualified candidates that were actually making it all the way up to the top of the ranks. And so it was the Carter administration that had the military go back and find a qualified candidate. Got it? And so they did. And so the direction, the trajectory of Colin Powell's career was actually enhanced by Jimmy Carter. So a lot of things he doesn't get credit for. So I recommend you guys, please Google Jimmy Carter and take a look and keep him in your prayers right now. Let's see. Helen Cole says President Carter made Memphis University admit more students of color in the 70s or lose federal funds. He is why I was admitted to the nursing program and working at a what is that, NP in mental health. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Helen Cole, for that. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Jimmy Carter, he has been the butt of the joke for the Republicans for years. But in the 4 years, he didn't get 8 years. In the 4 years that he was president, he did a lot. He did a lot. And like I said, he don't get enough credit for some of the innovations that were made, some of the progress that was made while he was president. So thank you so much for that, Helen Cole. I love that direct connection. That is perfect. And let me see, what else do I have here? Oh, okay. And this is the last photo I have of Jimmy for today. And when the time comes, we'll talk about him some more. But just keep him and the rest of his family in your prayers, especially Rosalind Kennedy. Carter. I keep saying Kennedy. Rosalind Kennedy. Rose Kennedy. That's why I keep saying Rosalind Kennedy. Rosalind Carter. Because she needs your prayers too. All right. And with that, you guys, our last word of the day, courtesy of Connie Balmer. To whoever is reading this, God has seen your tears and broken heart. Your prayers are answered. Believe and have faith. Your blessings are waiting, and all you have to do is one last prayer. It may be hard to believe. It may be hard to believe it, but I have faith in prayer. Blessings to you and your loved ones. Amen. Well, thank you so much for that, Connie Balmer. Connie Balmer probably went to bed, but well, yeah, Connie Balmer had that some time ago, and I saved it. She's left that quote for us, so I saved it, and I came across it today, and I'm like, well, today is as good a time as any. Why don't we share that? And with that, you guys, thank you very much. That is it for Royal Sussex today. Wow, exactly 2 hours. That's good. A strong friendship doesn't need to have conversation every day, and it's not necessary to be together all the time. While friendship lives inside the hearts, true friends will never grow apart. Isn't that beautiful? While friendship lives inside the heart, true friendship never grows apart. So there you go. Another last word of today. So thank you very much. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your very generous and thoughtful contributions to Royal Sussex. Thank you to the moderators for keeping this a safe space. And thank you, Church Nelly and Lydia, for the links to the Invictus apparel. And don't forget, there's the channel for the Invictus games. It is at the top of the chat. So feel free to go ahead and jump over there right now. Click on that link and make sure that you subscribe, because you're going to need it. That's how you're going to see the opening and closing ceremonies for the Invictus games. You got to get over there and click on that link, okay? And because I won't be able to share that on Royal Sussex without that copyright infringement. And so we will say farewell as we acknowledge our queens as we go. Let me see. Oh, okay. I have not seen an update for that yet. So yeah, I don't see any official updates, but either way, they said that it was near. So but yeah, and we'll talk some more about it tomorrow. Yeah, right now I don't see any updates for it. So in the meantime, let's wait until whatever is official, but I don't see any updates for it just yet. And I'm always looking for my updates. So but we'll talk about it tomorrow. Whatever, keeps him at peace, and whatever is keeping his family at peace. He has lived a great life. And when we're called to rest, we all have to rest. So I want what's best for the Carters and their family. Let me see. Okay. All right. So we're good. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, Jacqueline Wiseman said, Jimmy Carter did Jesus proud by living his faith. Yes, Jimmy Carter has always been a man of faith, man of conviction. Thank you, Cookies and Cream. Yeah, thank you, Lorna. Not yet. But one of his grandsons said that they're in the final chapter. So that means that more than likely his family is with him, which is about all any of us could ask for at that time. Thank you, Lydia. Peaceful transition. Yes. Oh, Compton Caligal. If you go to the community tab, there's both of them are there for the apparel and for the channel. You may have to go back a little bit, but both links are in the community tab. So if you can't link here, you all could always go to the community tab, and both of those links are there. Out of the last few links that I shared, it will be either or within the last 10 of them, I suppose. But yeah, it's there. And I'll update the links in due time. So everything you need should be there. All right. So love you guys. See you tomorrow. And let's close with the Ginger Avenger. I'm so proud of Harry. Harry does not disappoint. I'm so proud of him. I love the fact that he works so hard. He is just undeterred, not discouraged at all by all that nonsense from his family. He's just in there working. So, okay. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place for the Ginger Avenger. Q-Gen.